Hi everybody, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is Eight of Cups. I'm seeing Knight of Swords. Death card, Magician. The Star. So we have Scorpio here, we have Mercury, and we also have Aquarius. The way that Eight of Cups is moving and then Knight of Swords is kind of meeting it, I feel like something is going on that's connected with a transition that's being made, and this feels like something that meets you. Let's say that you are the Eight of Cups here. There can be something that you're seeking. When we start off with Eight of Cups, I see it focusing on finding what we're looking for. So you can already know that you're kind of in a state where it can feel like there's some sort of disconnect, or you can feel kind of like you're looking for something. You may not know what you're looking for, but it's like a seeking type of energy. When we start off with Eight of Cups, it feels like we don't need to really know what was going on before that. Like, it's not pertinent, at least to the reading. We just need to know that there is a looking for something that's happening with this, or an intention to seek, or there's an openness even that we can be feeling. So with that, because we see this person making a venture, and they're also being looking at what has been there and saying, I think that there's more to it than this, or something about this, however I'm deeming it, it can feel like this is not where my story ends. And so there's going to be this feeling of continuation here that's happening. So it feels like as this is going on here, as this journey is, I don't know if it's a beginning of a journey, but at least the initiation of this that's happening, it feels like something comes and finds you at the right time, because this feels like a choice is being made. I'm looking for something here. And having this Knight of Swords come through kind of feels like it's going to be meeting this person. Like, hey, I have information. Because we see this, it kind of gives you context of the person looking, okay? And this being pertinent information that comes through, it's going to be connected with this, connected with what this person is looking for. So I'm seeing this as being there's information coming through that's going to be helpful, that's going to aid you on this adventure of seeking that you're on currently. Now, what information is this that's coming? We see the Death card being connected with this. So this can be something that's coming through that can feel like very transformative, transformational information that comes through. So something that's coming here and happening, and it's bringing that energy of Scorpio with it. And so this can be revealing things to you that you didn't remember before. It can be bringing things to light. It can be exposing things to you. So there's going to be something, like when I think about the energy of Scorpio, this can be like there's going to be information that's connected with what you may be more interested in investigating, what you may be interested in learning more about, stuff that you didn't know before that now you're going to be able to look into. And it can also be stuff that really transforms your mind. Stuff that transforms you energetically. So it feels like this is bringing that energy along with it. And then what's that going to do? it's going to be doing something for you mentally where, I mean, when we see Scorpio and we see Mercury, there can definitely be a, like, I don't want to have any stone left unturned here. As it relates, we have the star here. As it relates to my purpose, as it relates to my journey, as it relates to my dreams, as it relates to where I feel I'm meant to be and the feeling that I have when I'm in that right place. And this can be feeling even like you get a chance to create something that you want, to manifest something that you want. But I do feel like the way that the Death card comes through feels like maybe this is you doing the things that you'd been doing as the Magician. Like, I have this going on and I have that going on, but Death coming through feels like this is a messenger saying, like, hey, it's not going to be like this anymore. Something is going to be changing here. But to have the star next to it feels like a really positive omen. Because the star is feeling like a part of your path that is becoming active, part of your path that is becoming activated here. And I feel like that's even further clarified by the next card coming out, which is Page of Wands, which feels like this answers your question that you have had all along about where you're meant to be, about what it is that you're looking for, and where you're going to find it. If you are in a place where you are really, where your heart is centered, you are going to be able to listen, you are going to be able to hear this information that comes to you or this message that comes to you. The thing though, when we have the Death card, is that this is something that can feel like it is a big change in a way. Or that it really shifts something for you. Okay, when we have the Fool card, and also I'm seeing Death above the Fool, this is going to mean that in order for you to do this, in order for you to embrace this, you're going to be asked to surrender what you can already know in your heart, because we have Eight of Cups here. What you already know in your heart is not aligned. What you know in your heart is not in resonance, but can still be difficult to let go of because of the attachments that we have, because of the wanting to keep things around, or that safety in like having a collection around us. So it feels like this is saying, like, although this is the answer that you have been looking for, it still asks for a sacrifice from the part of you that may still have certain attachments, and that there's going to be a request that will have to be answered on your end. If you are really going to embrace this, what are you willing to surrender that you may be keeping around in some way currently, or you may be keeping up with in some way currently? So that's kind of like an exchange that would be happening, but it feels like if you want to pass through the eye here, you can't really carry that baggage with you that's not meant to be part of this, and you would know because you have a feeling about it. That's how it would be confirmed for you. It's not somebody coming through and saying, get rid of this, this, and this directly. This is your own feeling about what it is that you have going on and saying, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is really part of my path. I don't know if this is feeling so right to me. Something is feeling off about this to me. Or you have to like convince yourself that it's part of your path. So these are going to be things that become apparent to you. I think really through that honest self-reflection. Usually that's the way. Because then you're going to know what's truly resonating and what's not. And as much as it can be difficult to surrender, to sort of hand over those things, at the same time, it's not part of your path, and so it's necessary, because those things won't sort of serve in the way that what's meant for you, at least in the way that you want to be connecting with your path will be available to you. So I do feel like this is somebody coming through or something coming through. It's going to be like in the form of like information. It can be a conversation. It can be a message. It's going to feel like it's sort of carried in and it speaks directly to you about this thing that you've been going through currently and says to you, if you want to like hop on this path over here that you can know within your heart something about it sings, then there's going to be a leap of faith essentially that's required with the Fool there. So there's going to be like taking a chance. There can be a calculated risk here that you can be feeling if you're going to do this, because it means like we're going to burn that bridge entirely and that you're going to cross over entirely. And in the way that can be the most liberating thing for you. But until we get to that point where we've completely like unbound ourselves, it can feel not liberating. It can feel like anything other, because you don't feel that sense of freedom. But as soon as those chains are cut, you feel so much lighter for it, and it really changes, I think, even like the way that you're framing things, your perception of your place, of sort of how you fit in with things as well, how you're moving through your path. Something important here is that we do see King of Cups, and I see this as being something that is really necessary for you to be in this place in order to be open to what you know. The thing with the Death card is that this is the stuff that can be hard to shed, but it's difficult for you to shed because of attachment to things that are no longer in alignment. And so for the part of you that is connected with the deeper wisdom within you, it's not difficult for that part of you to do the surrendering, because you know and you trust that is part of your path. So there's not a debate about like, I don't know if this is right for me from that part of yourself. That part of you, that whatever it is that you want to call it, that part of your soul will say, this may feel however it's going to feel for you, but you know that this is the right way. It's just like the worldly part of you that can experience difficulty. So resting in that part of you that is connected with the deeper and pure aspect of your soul that you connect with, there's more of an ease that comes with embracing the transformation at play here and what it requires of you. I feel like this also sets in a feeling of you doing something that feels worthwhile to you. It feels like that's part of it. Being in a position, playing out a position, being in a role that feels worthwhile to you. Something that feels like this is what I'm meant to be doing with my life even. It can be something on a grand scale like that. This is also something that when you're embracing this path, there is a feeling of hope about things and almost like a limitlessness that you would feel too. Instead of like, I'm trying to go this way and then I'm cut off, or trying to go this way and then I'm stuck here. Now I'm limited by this. This feels like something that sort of opens up something more endless for you. But having the Death card and having the Fool here, it really does feel like something that the worldly part of you can feel like this is a really big thing that's being asked of me here to surrender. And I think more psychologically than anything, because Scorpio, as much as it can be connected with transformation, on the other side of it, it can speak about our deepest emotional attachments that we have, or psychological attachments that we have to things that we've been refusing to surrender, things that we've been refusing to allow to evolve, not embracing the change. So just as much as Scorpio can be that sign of transformation, it can also, in its polarity, be the opposite of that holding on and not releasing and stagnating. And then the feeling that you get, sort of the symptom that you get from doing exactly that, from the resistance. I feel like this reframes a role that you are playing within your life, that this transforms a path that you are following, that you are walking upon, that you are traveling upon. And also too, if you look at what it is that you are truly wanting to move towards here, from a centered place within you, from a pure place within you, from a place within you that knows your path, it does feel like there's some type of like sacrifice. It's not going to feel, on a soul level, it will not feel like a sacrifice, but for a different part of you, for the worldly part of you, it can feel like a sacrifice that's being made. And that's just as valid, even if it's not all of you, even if it's just an aspect of you. Just as valid, just as palpable, just as much experienced and felt. Eight of Cups is looking at the Fool, and so this feels like if you're really going to chase your dreams, if you're really going to embrace this aspect of your path here, if you are really going to follow your North Star, that it feels like it requires an exchange of some sort. Now, for each of you, whatever this is that you're going to have to exchange if you do this, it can be different, but it does feel like it is connected with some type of, it can be like some type of emotional attachment that you have to something. But at the same time, because we have that Eight of Cups there will be a feeling that you have that you're sort of holding on to something, and it can be from a place of fear, it can be from a place of resistance, it can be from a place of familiarity, but it's not something that holds a lot of value to you as far as an ability to feel like you are getting your needs met, or there's a sense of fulfillment there, and there's a sense of connection there. It will lack that. And I think that if you like cut yourself off emotionally and just look at this from a completely like intellectual standpoint, you'd be like, that doesn't really add up there. But I feel like that's important. Why we have the King of Cups here is because if this is not centered, if this is not stilled, if this is not a grounded perception, it may be difficult to see that. It may be difficult to make that accurate assessment of this and think that it's something other than it is. Think that an attachment is something other than it is. And sort of define it as something that is not accurate. So more than anything, I really do feel like all of this comes back to you being in a place where there's a willingness to do honest self-reflection, and it will reveal to you exactly what you need to know and what steps are the right steps for you to be taking, and there won't be that like blinding feature there anymore. Otherwise, it can feel like from maybe more of a disrupted or more of a frenzied place, that can be sort of where you're maneuvering from, and then what that will yield for you. and it can feel like it will yield what it's been yielding, and that may not be something that you want anymore. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.